Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matters more than ever. Remember to use code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Place your money line, prop, or parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Iowa only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of Hashtag Saints Twitter podcast. And I'm just going to call this some off-season, nigga hungry, off-season rambling episode. We were going to break down Jaycee Horn, and I just haven't had the time to watch him. Like, that's just me being honest. He was of our Twitter, Saints Twitter draft prospects of people to watch. He won the second poll. I haven't had time to watch him. And honestly, we'll still break him down because he won pretty handedly. But reading the tea leaves, it sounds like he might not be in the Saints range. Like maybe some teams view him as the number one cornerback in the draft rather than Patrick Surtain. So he might go a lot higher than people expect. Anyway, so at some point, we will be breaking down Jaycee Horn and breaking his game down. But we have enough things to just talk about and recap and talk about in general regarding the Saints, the Super Bowl, like thoughts in general. We're gonna talk about Jeff Ireland. Like we got enough content for this episode. So let's start with Tipsy Tom, throwing the Lombardi on the boats. Like the Buccaneers completely dismantled the Kansas City Chiefs in I did not see that coming.
No.
And playing with backup players on the offensive line, and even at some point third string players on the offensive line. It doesn't matter how good you are at quarterback. Like you can't overcome it all. The Bucs defense was swarmed over the Kansas City offense. The Kansas City defense, that was like the Steve Spagnuolo New Orleans defense out there, nigga.
I know what that looked like.
There you go. Just what were you just? I watched extremely little of the Super Bowl. Very, very little.
It was on. It was on the TV for me. Like it was just on, and I'm just doing whatever I want, but it's just on TV. But yeah, I didn't study it and just crank down. I looked at a couple of little after the game, couple highlights and breakdowns and stuff like that. I mean, it just came down to fundamentals, man. It kind of, it's not the most sexiest thing to talk about, but it's the trenches, offensive line, defensive line, just comes football at the end of the day is just tackling, tackling and blocking
bro.
And stuff. Yeah, it's just strip away all the scheming stuff. It's tackling, blocking, that's what it comes down to. It just comes down to that at the end of the day.
That's what we talk about in all of our preview pods. We sound repetitive, but that's why
everyone is can Saints O-line block? Can Saints D-line get pressure?
It.
That's it. It's 80% of the game. You know what I'm saying? If you are good on those things, like you will win most games if you're good at quarterback. Like you need a quarterback
Yes.
to, obviously everything plays a part. But it's just like, when you with the pie chart about what's most important, it's like those things eat up a lot of the pie. You know what I'm saying? So it was just interesting just to see somebody, even like, superhuman like Patrick Mahomes, who even if as bad as the game he had, he just had highlights. Like his incompletions was highlights. Like, man, how the fuck did you see the video of it was the Bucks player?
Yeah, man, I did.
They're like, damn, why the hell?
He,
like they're just raving about his incompletions. And shit.
he is not of this earth. Like,
no, he's not.
Like like in the plays that he made that were incompletions were like they should have been caught. Like they were like drops.
So pissed. I was pissed because it was like I don't give a fuck about the Chiefs. Like fuck them, I don't care. But like just for fun of sports, like damn, I wish one of these niggas catch this shit. Like catch the fucking ball. Just to make it fun, man. Damn.
They would have been all time Super Bowl moments. Like regardless of how the game ended, like just like the picture of him like falling to the ground and I tweeted.
Bro, how could you not catch that, bro? Like
I tweeted it like he was Texas Tech Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, bro. Like that's
that's
what it was.
It's like fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It's like throwing it, motherfucker.
Texas Tech didn't have a defense, and their offensive line wasn't great. So I literally felt like I was like, oh shit! Like I felt like I was watching him breaking him down as a prospect. The little I saw of it, but like the receivers weren't making plays. Like that was it.
Yeah, it was something, man.
It was
something. But it also like just struck me as just like NFL, man. It's like you just don't know, bro. Like, look, the Saints beat Tampa Bay twice. You know what I'm saying? Then they beat us in the playoffs. They lost. They lost to the Chiefs earlier this year. It's like such a week-to-week proposition, bro. Like you just don't fucking know, man. You don't know. You don't know. And they didn't do anything extravagant. It's not like Tom Brady just blew the doors off. He threw for like 270 yards, nice completion percentage.
It was a meat and potatoes performance on both. Well, I would say not on defense, but like offensive was like meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes. And shout out to Todd Bowles, man. Like he fucking said, I'm gonna play too high, and I'm gonna fucking
because Andy Reid is not gonna run the ball, and even if he does, we can shut it down.
Yeah, Andy Reid not gonna run it. He's not gonna stick with it. We're gonna shut the bitch down. And I'm sure Todd Bowles was kind of surprised, like, damn, you're not gonna bring in like a extra old lineman or nothing. You just expect these bums to just block? Like, okay. Like, okay, I'm just gonna keep, we gonna keep coming at you. And it's like, damn, it's like really, that was a real shocking thing. It's like, damn, Andy Reid, like you won't adjust at all. Like you seeing, like motherfucker run for like 500 yards scrambling. Like Patrick Mahomes literally had no time. Like it was like ball snap, boom, run for your life, just run. Like look at that old Archie Manning highlights or something, bro. It's like what the fuck.
But that shows. Coaches are coaches and coaches are stubborn, bruh. Like coaches are so stubborn in like what they run and their offense. And like, we've seen it sometimes with Sean Payton where the worst thing in football that drives me crazy. And I get so pissed every time I see it is offensive coordinators and head coaches that lead fucking tight ends to block upper echelon edge rushers. And then they blow up the play or cause a forced fumble, and it's like, what did you expect?
What you thought? What you thought was going to happen?
Come on! It blows my mind. I will say that Saints Twitter was an absolute mess all day. They've been a mess since the Saints lost to the Bucks, bro.
Like every day I log on, I'm just like, the fuck they talking about today, bro?
And the whole thing on Sunday was, like there was like this debate of like, like who was it? I think it was our dude Evan was like, Jameis went 7-9 with this team, and then you had the other Saints people like, well, technically the people who scored touchdowns, weren't on the people. Like, listen. 93% of that Bucks team that Tom Brady inherited played with Jameis last year. Now there were improvements. They got a stud right tackle in Tristan Wirfs in the draft. They got a stud safety in Antoine Winfield. Oh, in the draft, we gonna talk about the draft soon. They got a rapist in Antonio AB, came on their team late, who has been a complete malcontent knucklehead for years and able to sign to a team and get the Super Bowl ring, whatever. But and then they didn't have Tom Brady. But like big piece wise, there were so many of those pieces on the team when Jameis played last season. Now you can argue they didn't play up to their potential. Their defense wasn't as good. I hear that. I get that. But if you just look from an offensive perspective, and I don't want to minimize how having a stud right tackle affected things, but Jameis had a lot of the weapons that Tom Brady had, bro. Like,
he did, man. He did. Straight like that.
I'm just being so. I don't want to hear people come at me. Whatever. I gave you four players that changed the tenor that weren't on the team for the Bucks last year. But take those four players away, and a lot of that team was the same. Oh, and Leonard Fournette. Sorry. Who didn't even have a great regular season this year. He just went off in the playoffs. Like,
right.
Like, come on. So it ties into the point of it's just this stuff like, and I asked you this, we could talk about it on the pod. I said, if Jameis is the quarterback next year and Ian Rappaport makes a report that, the Saints want to bring Jameis back, and if he's brought back, all signs point to him being the starter quarterback, we're not done. Like, that's what the tea leaves say. But how comfortable are you with Jameis making a deep playoff run with the Saints roster? We don't know what's going to look like, but hypothetically, majority of the pieces being the same.
It's like I told you, he would have to play unlike he's ever played. Like, so you're hoping for a outlier. You're hoping that Jameis Winston just comes in and rarely turns the ball over, makes smart plays, smart decisions, and throws accurately. Like that's what you would expect if you think he's going to make a deep run to the playoffs. And that's what he would need to do if he wanted to make a deep run to the playoffs. But in his 5 years as a starter and his few years playing at Florida, that just hadn't been him. Like, that's just not who he is. Can he change? Like, anything's possible. Anything's possible. Fucking, Nick Foles had that crazy, 30 touchdowns and 2 interceptions or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, anything's possible. You can have just like a great year. It's very possible. But to predict that and expect it, like, that's crazy to expect that. That's crazy. No, of course I don't expect that shit. You know what I'm saying? If they brought Jameis back, which I expect them to do, I just think they believe that the team is really good. The whole team is good, and Jameis is good enough. Like, it's good enough that they could kind of coach around it and make a run. Just try to make a run and just be good enough. That's all I'd expect. Like, I wouldn't be sitting there, yeah, Saints going to the Super Bowl this year, baby. And like, nah. Like, I'd be like, we'll see. We'll see how this shit play out. It'll be fun though, at least. Like, I enjoy like just the ridiculousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be having fun like a motherfucker.
It's like you said, like it would make the season exciting. But I think maybe for fans who are still super emotionally attached, like maybe a couple of games of Jameis, we'd be like, oh, okay.
But you know what? What'll make it fun is like he will have like 2 or 3, maybe 4 games where he's just like, he just light the motherfucker up. Like he's gonna have like a 400-yard game where he's just like doing crazy shit, throw 2 picks, 5 touchdowns. Like he might have that type of game with Sean Payton, and it'll just be fun, like just like crazy fun. And but like as far as like just good quality top 5 franchise type quarterback type shit, like come on, man, no. I mean, the dude was thrown in the trash by a bottom tier franchise last year. You know what I'm saying? And nobody even coughed at it. It wasn't like, wow, they are getting rid of the Jameis Winston. It was expected.
Right.
It was like, yeah, he didn't reach this time. You know what I'm saying? It signed for $1.1 million to the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, come on, bro. Like, he is what he's shown to be. You know, is he gonna be that for the rest of his life? None of us can predict that, but all we can go by is what we've seen, and he's been a talented but uh a guy that, you know, the old Parcells, like your potential's gonna get me fired, boy. Like it's like that's who he is. It's like you just constantly. I mean, who he had? He had who was he had Dick who was this kid?
Dirk Cutter.
Dirk Cutter. He had Bruce Arians.
He had
Lovie Smith. Well, did Lovie Smith get fired before they drafted him, or did he have that 1 year with Lovie?
I think you may have 1 year with. I don't.
I think so. I think he had that 1 year. I think Lovie, like remember Lovie?
Yeah, I think you're right.
They tanked that last game.
Yes.
Like they pulled all these starters, and they drafted Jameis. Then they went to with Dirk, and then Bruce Arians. So like, I mean, this coach is killed, man, because he has that potential, enough potential where you're like, man, if we just get the right pieces, get the right coaches, just coach him up. Just coach him up. Like we've seen the same story every season. Like just coach him up enough. And like, look, Sean Payton is a hell of a coach. I will like nobody's denying that. But it's like if he can remake Jameis Winston, like man, that's some fucking coaching right there.
Yeah, bro. He coaching, right?
He coaching.
It's a great point. Great point. Something that kind of I want to talk about is we talked about it. Or let's first of all let's talk about, like, did you at any point today watching the celebration was like, man, fucking Tom could have been leaving the fucking quarter right now, you know, drunk as fuck.
I didn't think about that.
Hold a little party, bro. Fucking can't leaving fucking Coyote ugly, like just leaving the top of the bar table, just leaving, bro.
Man, that would have been so fascinating if he came to the Saints. Like I just like some reason I just don't see it working out. Like I just like fucking Goodell or fucking suspend somebody. Something happened, man. Like that shit there would have been crazy if he came to the Saints. Like Tom fucking Brady. Like I just got like, and Drew Brees, like Drew. I don't think Drew could take that, bro.
That's why he came back, bro. Like,
yeah,
not only would have been bad enough if Tom Brady came after Drew, but like if Tom Brady did what Drew couldn't do, like in one season,
that would be such a knock to his legacy. Huge knock to his legacy.
Bro,
like me, I don't give a fuck. Like fuck his legacy. Like I'd be happy with it, but I'm just saying, like just from that perspective.
Yes,
it's like damn. Like
you know, the NFL and sports in general is a narrative fucking business, bro.
So narrative based.
Like he would have been out of. Oh my it. But I will say this. If Tom Brady was on the Saints this season, I think the Saints would have probably been in the Super Bowl at least. I don't know if they would have won, but I think they would have. I think they would have been in the Super Bowl or NFC.
I just would love to see somebody like you know Tom Brady with the aggressive, like just you know. He just has that kind of fucking want to win, and with Sean Payton, who has that want to win, Like, I'm not saying that's different from Drew Brees. Like Drew Brees has the same fucking affection, you know.
But I get it. Like, you know, I get what you mean. Like when Tom Brady's in a big game before the game, he's in the fucking end zone saying, "Let's." Like, I get it. Like, you know, just that.
And we can't stand it. Like us as fans, watching more other teams, we're like, man, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? But like if he was on your team, like fuck yeah,
let's go. Like, get it, bro.
Oh, that would have been fascinating, man.
It would. But I saw some tweets. You know, today on Saints Twitter just should have been leaving the quarter right now. Won't he? Just that happened. But let's talk about the draft because I think speaking of the draft, I talked about it when talking about how Tampa Bay kind of had the pieces in place before Tom Brady even got there. This past draft obviously helped him tremendously. But there was a tweet, I don't even fucking know, man, but basically was outlining Jason Licht's draft classes. I think it went back to 2018, maybe it was 2017. And then I kind of started, I started thinking like, and I made like this little funny tweet in jest, but like a lot of Jeff Ireland's drafts is really kind of just being held up by that 2017 draft class. Like the team, the Saints as a whole is that, that little Cheeto in the that's supposed to stop people from coming in the house. The little meme, the Cheeto meme. That's a 2017 draft class. Protect. Just hold it on, bro. So you even tweeted it. You like, is Jeff Ireland # good? And I feel like we need to talk about it on the show. I feel like we gotta talk about it.
It's a question just worth asking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I wasn't saying it like I wasn't being like rhetorical about it, like, saying he's bad. I was just like, it's just an interesting question just to think about, like,
because there was a time when his name was hot, like he was gonna be like a GM, and even us as fans, we were like, shit, we can't lose Jeff.
I was like, man, that was the best fucking move in Saints history. Like getting Jeff Ireland at the Senior Bowl, you know what I'm
saying? Can't lose Jeff. And then, a couple of drives and like, maybe we can lose Jeff. Like, so let's go into it. You sent me thankful. So we'll start with the 2016 draft, right? Okay, so that got the Saints, Sheldon Rankins. Now, again, the story of this draft, and at least round one, was Sean Payton wanted to draft it, Laramie Tunsil. That's the guy he wanted. He was on the table for him. He had fallen because of the whole bong thing. Jeff Ireland said, no, we're going with, we're going with Sheldon Rankins. So that was the pick. After that, in round two, Michael Thomas, can't argue that, home run, even if he might not be able to say next season. At the draft pick, a home run.
Home run, it's no question.
Also in round two, got Von Bell, not with the Saints any longer, but he's a starter in the NFL. A good pick. Round four, you got David Onyemata, who arguably is a better player than Sheldon Rankins in round four. That was great scouting. Sheldon Rankins, it's not been reported. There's no financial way for the Saints to bring Sheldon Rankins back. He's gone. He's gone.
He done.
If he had played like he did in 2018 his entire career and didn't have the injuries, then he would be back. But he hasn't shown that, so he's going to be gone. Yeah. So that's three, and then in round seven they drafted Daniel Lasco, who's not. So three solid hits, and then you have the epic 2017 draft class, and and drafted Al-Quadon Muhammad from Miami in round 6, not with the Saints, but he's like a legit starter for the Colts defense. Epic draft class. I'm not going to get into the quarterback thing, home run, an all-time draft class. I don't know, bro. Then we get to 2018. And so you trade a first rounder and from like 27 to fucking 14, future first rounder to draft Marcus Davenport. Me and you still have the debate. Do they pick up his 5th-year option? I'm sorry, but if we are having that debate on a player that you invested 2 first-round picks for, that's not a good pick. Like, that's not. I'm sorry. It was a bad pick. One of the worst ones in Sean's tenure, considering we were looking for final pieces to bring it home.
Yeah.
Round 3, or was it round 3? Round 3, drafted Traquan Smith, an inconsistent player, but what he does well, he scores touchdowns and he makes big plays. So an all-around decent pick, especially in the 3rd round.
Yeah, pick at 91.
91. And then Ryan, I think they fucking fell asleep. I think they you ever play a video game, you auto draft, bro?
You know me in fantasy, that's me, bro. Like fucking auto draft, baby.
Rick Leonard, who, when he was drafted in the 4th round, like I remember, like ESPN, NFL Network, they didn't even have footage of Rick Leonard, bro. They had footage of every draft player.
Nothing, bro. Nothing, bro. Because that was the year. Yeah, that was one of the years I was I didn't follow the draft super closely. But then, like, when, I watched the draft and I was just like, who the hell is... I went to look him up and I just couldn't find shit, bro. I couldn't find nothing, man.
Like, even after that, I remember when you go to, like, draft websites, like, NFL, they didn't have a picture of Rick Leonard, bro. Like,
man, like a fucking egg, bro. Like, a fucking egg, right? I'm like, what the hell? Like, okay, maybe they saw him in like the East-West Shrine game. Or
maybe some David Onyemata. I mean, he did go to Florida State, but like, David Onyemata, Bob, like maybe no one has scouted him, like we've scouted him, type of.
And he hadn't played for anyone.
Nobody,
bro. Like that's just a waste of a fucking pick, bro.
Waste.
Like I know it's 127 overall, but like, come on, man. It's like you couldn't find nobody.
So it was Rick Leonard in round 4, Natrell Jamerson in round 5, Kareem Moore in round 6, Boston Scott in round 6, who's not on the team, but they hit on him as a player. And then Will Clapp, they had to shut the LSU fans up when they said like, the Saints don't draft LSU players. Whatever. Will Clapp in round 7. So I say it to this day, as much as I was annoyed with what happened in 2017 draft, and we talked about it on our previous like Saints Dynasty show, that 2018 draft, bruh, like not hitting on Marcus, like that changed the tenor of the team, like changed everything. The following year that I didn't have a 1st round pick because of the whole Davenport trade, and they really, really liked AJ Brown that draft, but they needed a center because Max Unger just up and retired, but they knew that was kind of coming, so they had to draft Eric McCoy in the 2nd round, who's been a great player. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the 4th, he fell due to his coaches kind of bad-mouthing him and whatever.
Understandable. Well, I love him. That's my dude. I love him.
But
that was a good pick, though. That was a good pick.
Fantastic pick in the 4th round. Fantastic pick.
Good fucking pick.
And then Saquon Hampton, who, man, he was intercepting everything his rookie season in training camp, and we was like, oh, we got a ball hawk? Oh, what? And then he got hurt, and then this year, whatever, he's not on the team anymore.
He's not good.
Elise Mack, who I think had the Super Bowl ring with the Chiefs from last year, if memory serves correctly.
The fuck?
Pretty sure that's accurate. And then Caden Ellis, their starting Sam linebacker, who literally never plays for special teams. But he was a 7th round pick. And then, so that was 2018. And then after that, you have, sorry. That was 2019. The 2020 draft, the draft where it's like, this is Drew's last year. We're going for it fucking all. This is all in. This is our window. We need to win a Super Bowl this year. They drafted Cesar Ruiz. They drafted Adam Troutman. They drafted Zach Bond, who couldn't play like an actual linebacker role on the team. And then they traded up. Of course, they had to trade up and draft Tommy Stevens in the 7th round to be the new Taysom, and now he plays for the Panthers.
Ugh.
There's talk to me. What's going on, Jeff? Talk to me, Ryan.
We'll see. Like that 2020 draft, bro. Like I've never been so down on the draft. Like immediately. Like at least with the Davenport draft, it was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like we gonna see. There's something there. Like you looked at Davenport tape, and it's like, okay, I see what y'all was looking at. I see something. I see something that could be something. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, man, with this 2020 draft, it's like, I just don't see. Like I like Troutman. I think something that could be there. Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, he put a good route on Devin White in the Tampa Bay game. Like that's
like we needed something this year, and he would come with his one catch, like deuces.
The new Brandon Coleman, bro.
Was that wasn't the quarter? I mean, the pass game wasn't great all year, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, the dude played at Daytona or whatever. I don't know. Shit, it's like Dayton. You know what I'm saying? It's like what? So I'm expecting you expect as a rookie, but like Ruiz, that's a real disappointment, man.
Huge.
Because that was like all we talked about in the off season is like where's he going to play? Where's he going to play? He's supposed to solidify the offensive line. We got rid of Larry Warford. He's going to play guard. Is he going to play center? He like challenged McCoy for like 3 days in camp, and then McCoy was like, "Nah, bro, I got this." And it was like, okay, let's figure out. Then he got hurt. Couldn't really fit in. Then it was just like he was in and out the lineup all season. It wasn't really good.
Was rotating with Nick Easton.
And it was just like, it wasn't good. Like, it wasn't good. It disappointing. All they talked about was, like, oh, he's so smart. He's so smart, understands the game, plays with good leverage. This was a home run pick. It just was a no-brainer, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, now we're playing football. So where's all that? You know what I'm saying? So that was a disappointing pick. He could turn it around. He has time to turn it around. He could become a good player. None of this stuff is written in stone, so we'll see. But
I think
where we are now, it's disappointing, man.
And I think a lot of it too is, again, it's extremely disappointing because those players picked in that draft, like this past draft, like they needed to have an impact this season. Like this was not the year. I get it, COVID, blah blah blah. But like people throw that out, or like, oh, well, he was playing out of place in a COVID. Like, bro, like,
and what was being sold to us was like, well, where are they going to fit all these players? The Saints are just so stacked,
Bro, I remember it.
Just draft players that you could build, and that'll be able to start for your team later. It's like that's what we sold, but motherfucker, we needed offensive line help this year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
War Daddy, are you available? Like,
right.
like you War Daddy on the phone, bro.
So I mean, it didn't add up. It was like, oh yeah, we drafted for the future, but you cut Larry Warford as soon as we drafted Cesar Ruiz. So obviously they were hoping intended for him to start this year.
Yes.
You know, so I mean that's bullshit. Now Zach Bond,
oh boy,
you know, he didn't really have a spot, but like immediately we had questions. Like as soon as they drafted him, he was like, you know, he's gonna be moved to middle linebacker. We're like,
what?
Huh? What?
Did y'all watch any of this nigga's tape?
What the fuck are you talking about? It's like
he literally
we weren't even like big fans already.
No, he literally almost rushed the passer every snap at Wisconsin. Every single snap. So like it was a projection, like to take him what he did well at Wisconsin, and now you're gonna say, okay, now we're gonna take you off the ball when you were kind of like a TJ Watt-ish like player. Now we're gonna move you off the ball, and now you're gonna work in like space when you have shown that you really don't do that. Well, like not that you don't do it well, but like you don't have any experience doing it. So it's a projection. Like it was a draft that, man, we didn't need projects. We didn't need projects. We needed players to come in to play and contribute. Because then when you had fumbles, McGee, Jared out or Jared Cook, the ball, like we needed that. Like you would think that as soon as Quan went down, it's like shit. We drafted Zach Bond in the 3rd round. Go make some plays, kid. Didn't get on the field.
And it was such a good wide receiver draft. And I know it was like, oh, okay, the Saints don't need a wide receiver. And then come the season, it's like every single wide receiver is injured. Every single one.
It's so because I remember what we were told after the draft kind of happened. It was like, well, the Saints have Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders and Alvin Kamara and Traquan Smith. And
where's the ball going to go?
They don't have enough targets. Jared Cook. Okay. And my response to that, I kept saying it, and I didn't try to speak it into existence, but I said, if Michael Thomas goes down for an extended part of the season, the Saints are right back to where they were the season before.
What are you talking about, Adam? Like Michael Thomas doesn't get hurt. Like the dude plays every snap. I mean, the dude doesn't get hurt, man. Like what are you talking about?
Whoops.
And then you know, it's funny. It's like that's why my draft philosophy. If I ever ran a team, which will never happen, just draft good players, man.
That's it, bro.
Fuck the position, fuck the need. Fuck all that shit. Fuck the depth. Get good players. Is he a good player? It's a good player? Get him. Get him. Just stack your team with just good fucking players.
It'll work itself out. I promise you it'll work itself out somehow, some way.
It works itself out. Like they didn't like Tampa Bay didn't need Antonio Brown. Like, you know, yeah, he's a creep. Like, didn't need him. They didn't need Gronkowski. They really did not need those players.
Nope.
They're good fucking players, man. Like, just bring them on and
They literally had O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate.
Yeah. O.J. Howard out for the season. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's like.
So the thing is, when you good players, especially in the draft, you know what happens is that when it happens consistently, you start to have a problem like the Saints are having with the 2017 class. There are some players that are so good that you have to retain them. Alvin Kamara, Ryan Ramczyk, and then then there's other players, Lattimore, Marcus Williams, Trigger Trey, that you figure out like how good are they, and are they worth the amount of money that they're going to cost? And if they are, you pay them, and if they're not, then they go out elsewhere and get paid. But you keep drafting so I guess I go back to Jeff Ireland was seen as such as this, I won't say guru, but for a while he completely changed the draft room, and that the Saints needed that after like the whole Ryan Pace terrible drafts, and then he left, and then there are still some kind of drafts. And then Jeff Ireland kind of came in and fixed shit, or and for a while it looked really good. Like the Mike Thomas draft, the 2017 draft, were outstanding, what have you. But lately, and maybe we're looking at it from the prism of we needed more players for like this run, right? But like that said, Jeff Ireland and the team in general, in my opinion, like there's been some huge blunders that now, even if the Saints bring Jameis on their team next year and he's the guy, like, yeah, they can win like 10 games, but like, are they going to go on a run? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, and so I don't know what your thoughts on Jeff Ireland are right now, but I just think it was an interesting question you brought up. Like, how good is he as a talent evaluator?
I think at the end of the day, when you look at it, and is it Mike Renner, PFF Mike? He was talking about, how well the Saints drafted. And, but when you look at it, the point he was making was, anything outside of like round 3, round 4 is just like whatever. Like it's a crapshoot. Like really, even round 4 is like you're just hoping you get something. You know what I'm saying? A special team or some shit. But if you look at like the first 3 rounds, even though they haven't had a first round every year because of them, but they're more than likely hit on at least a good player or a starter or a great player, the last, since like 2016. Very few big misses in the top 3 rounds. So I think, when you look at that, you can say, okay, he's done fine. Like, no, he's not, the best, drafter in history or whatever, but he's done a fine job. He's done fine, like, relative to the rest of the league. He's done fine. Every draft is not the same. Some drafts are crap. Like, go look at the 2013 draft. Like, you could be a great drafter all you want, but that draft was just horrible.
Was that the Kenny Vaccaro draft?
The Vaccaro draft, man. Like,
he was one of the good players of the
yeah, he was one of the better players drafted in that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you got to look at the whole draft and see how it plays out. I get that Marcus Davenport one, man.
That's the one, bro.
That bites the team in the ass, bro. Bites the team in the ass, man.
I feel like I'm trying not to use too much hyperbole, but it's I think it's one of Sean's biggest mistakes. And I don't know who's like, was Sean saying like, trade the future first? Like,
he had to okay it. Like, Sean
for sure. And so that collaboration of Sean, Mickey, and Jeff, like it, and I'm not even, this is going to sound weird to say, like, I'm not the biggest Lamar fan in terms of what he brings you as a passer, but to not think that Sean Payton could, for Lamar to maybe have been like not even Lamar, like Jair Alexander, like that, like when you trade equity like that, you hamstring yourself, because if you don't hit on that pick, you're also fucked the next year because you don't have a first. And it's huge, man. And it's
tweeted when they drafted him. I tweeted it. Like, I said, he has to be DeMarcus Ware, or the draft is a failure. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with Marcus Davenport. If we pick Marcus Davenport at, let's say, at the top of the second round or something, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, pick 34. It wouldn't really be that big of a deal. It's like, okay, he's a fine player. It's like, okay, he didn't really work out like we wanted to. But when you give up that capital, you trade a next year's first and use your current first to move up and draft a player 14th overall.
14, bro.
That means you believe this is a game-changing player. Like, this player is going to be a top-level pass rusher for your team. And he just has not been that, man. And it's like we joke about, him in the anime, and, there were reports before the draft, like, he's not really just hardcore football guy. He kind of likes to just kind of, just not one of the type of guys. It's just like with a football is like what motivates him. And there's no disrespect to that. Like, I'm sure he's just a cool ass dude. Like, we probably talking. We could talk about fucking Star Wars and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sure, he cool as fuck, but I don't want my pass rusher in the Star Wars. I want him fucking wanting to think about breaking the quarterback neck or some shit. Like, I want him to fucking savage and nuts, and I just don't get that from him. It wouldn't surprise me at all if after he's done with the Saints, he's just like, football ain't for me, and just takes his money and go lives his life, which is fine. Like, it's fine, but it's just unfortunate because, we wanted that. Like, we've always been searching for that pass rusher opposite of Cam Jordan since Junior Gillette got kicked out. You know what I'm saying? And he was drafted to be that. He was drafted to be that. Oh, lo and behold, like fucking Trigger Trey, just come out of nowhere. I mean, think about that. Like, the Saints almost pulled some crazy shit to get Clowney this year. That's how desperate they were after giving up 2 firsts for 2 firsts.
That's it. It was such a telling. And I remember people saying like, "Oh, well, the Saints' interest in Jadeveon Clowney isn't an indictment on Marcus Davenport." Excuse me, like, how dumb can you be? Like,
and I ain't gonna lie, even I said it. I was like, "Oh, it's not an indictment," but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I was like, they just saying like, bruh, like, this it. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is it. Like, you need to show out or show home because they don't believe in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't believe in you anymore. So, like, that hurts. That one hurts. But I guess overall, like, we just look at Jeff Ireland, you're like, okay, he's fine. Like, look at the drafts before. I would say he's done better than what we did before. Relative to the league, he's probably lower than middle of the pack. But, just relative to what we've been as, as making draft picks, I think he's an improvement, but, and then again, it's also hard to know, like, how the Saints approach the draft. The Sean Payton, he has his power. Like, Sean Payton I know he's heavily involved in, like, the first round, like, heavily involved. And he also gets his player. Like, if there's a player he wants, and he really wants, they're going to get him. Period. Like, there's no question. Brandon Cooks, Alvin Kamara, Andrus Peat. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna get his player. But
not everybody.
Oh well, I think if they wanted Mahomes, like if Sean Payton beat the table and said, "I want fucking Patrick Mahomes," they would have drafted him, bro.
I wish I could be a fly in the room, bro.
Me too, bro. But I have no doubt if he banged on the table and wanted him, he would have got him. But it was like you said, I think it was ego.
And I think it was ego, and I also think it was Jeff Ireland being like Sean, like
Ireland or Mickey Loomis, like,
yeah,
hey, man, like
he'll be there. He'll be no one's putting him at 11. Like, he's gonna be there. Like, I think whatever, man. Anyway, let's not talk about that.
If you remember, like, years prior to that, like, Saints were notorious for giving up picks and moving up. So I think it got to a point where it was like, let's just stand back and use our picks. We got 2 picks in the first round. Let's stand back and use our picks that's available. But I know they did try to. I swear I remember reading a report that they were making calls to trade up during that draft.
You gotta show it to me. I gotta see it. Like, I think because if I read that, even though I'm not emotionally attached, I'd be like, okay, like, all right, but y'all just got outmaneuvered at that point. Like, whatever. So that was a good fun discussion, just talking about the draft. Was there another quarter? Oh, let's talk about okay, before we move on from the draft. Speaking of Jeff Ireland, this upcoming draft for the Saints, this shit right here in late April, bruh, this is a big one. Like, every draft is big, right? But this is a big draft. Like, it's the post-Drew draft. It's It's the future of the team. I don't get the sense. I really, really don't. And I know we broke down Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones would be a perfect fit in this offense. Bro, I saw someone wrote an article. I forgot who it was. Maybe it was PFF. I don't know who it was, but basically saying that if you compare Mac Jones to Tua as prospects, because they ran the exact same offense, that Mac Jones is actually a better prospect. And I thought about it, and I was like, it sounds a little hyperbolic, but it's not too crazy.
It's not too crazy.
It's not. I'm trying to take away my recency bias with Tua. The thing with Mac Jones is he just does not have a high ceiling. Like
Tua, he has a little more twitchiness to him. It's
yes.
Kind of you could just see him being a little more twitchy, kind of explosive a little bit, but it's not like a huge just gap or something like that.
It isn't, which is crazy to think about because I was a big fan of Tua, and there's for sure probably some recency bias. But you just watch Mac Jones, and I was like, I kind of get their point. But getting back to the Saints, it's such a huge draft for them. It's such in terms, and I said I don't think they're gonna, single a quarterback that they really gonna be, single in on. That's gonna even be on they're picking 28, bro.
Yeah.
28. So it's they got to hit on players, man. They got to hit on players, good ones. They got to get good players in this draft.
And that's all I worry about. I wouldn't even freak out about, we need this, we need to fill this position. Get a good player. I don't care if it's a fucking running back. I don't care if it's a cornerback. I don't care if it's a offensive tackle. Yes, it'll be boring, but get a good fucking player, man. That's all that matters to me. I haven't studied the draft yet to know, who's going where. I doubt any really good quarterback. This doesn't seem like any good quarterbacks would be there. The pass rush, edge rushers suck in this draft, from what I could tell.
Big sleep.
Just sleepy. I don't trust the Saints with linebackers drafting them. I just don't. They got to prove me wrong on that. Go get a fucking wide receiver. Go get a tight end. I don't know any good tight ends, but I think that that one tight end, he's gonna go high. Maybe he doesn't. Get him. Get up.
Oh, Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
No, that's a dog right there,
bro. I'm sure he's gonna go high, of course.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, get good fucking players, man. Walk away from this draft with 3 or 4 good fucking players.
That's it. And they might not even have to. And again, I don't think they'll be in the quarterback market in the draft, but you don't have to come out with a quarterback, but give Jameis some weapons. Give him protection. The defense is going to lose pieces. Replenish. It's a big draft, and we'll break it down. We got damn near two months in a week to wait for it, but we'll break it down. I don't think it's close. I wanted to get your thoughts. NFL offseason is set to begin sometime in March. Late March-ish, 21st, whatever. I don't know. Always in March. We saw the Matt Stafford trade. Potentially the Carson Wentz trade is gonna happen at some point. And I tweeted it, man. This offseason gonna be big bananas.
Yeah, man.
I thought speaking it into existence, and then Jimmy Graham got traded was the walk. People were mad at me that day on Twitter, bro.
There's all the Russell Wilson talk, which he's not getting moved, but just talk. You know what I'm saying?
But it's very interesting to hear him come out and be like,
yeah,
y'all need to protect me. Shit.
He ain't happy. You know what I'm saying? He's not happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting, bro. They're out there, X-Files. They're out there, man. They got quarterbacks out there, you know what I'm saying? Teams listening, I think, the Tom Brady factor played a big part into teams thinking man, if I just get a quarterback, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's gonna be interesting, bro. We ain't talk about fucking NFL coming down with the
Oh, I was getting there.
COVID-19 bullshit. Oh, okay.
But yeah, go ahead. You started it off. Go.
No, I mean I just like I just saw that one tweet about it. I just was like, of course, of course, of fucking course, man. It's like, what the fuck?
Who else? Whom's else but us?
And we just chilling. Like we not playing any games or nothing. It's like the season over. It's over.
How you get fired on your day off, Sean? Come on.
Hell, man. It's like, what the hell, bro?
So at this, I don't even know what the penalty is. Like they already fined them earlier for they took a seventh away. They fined them just the same kind of discipline that they gave to the Raiders. But now the Saints are being labeled as repeat offenders.
You know what? We finally was gonna get one of our comp picks. We was gonna get 2 this year, I think. We're gonna take them shits, bro. No comp picks.
They gonna take both third rounders is gone, bro.
We'll take both of them, bro. And we were dependent on them shits too. Like when they drafted last year, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have comp picks next year anyway." So, nope, they taking them shits, bro. Y'all don't get no cops.
Oh, bro. I mean, they say it's gonna be steep. You know Goodell coming with that.
Oh man,
come with that chopper, nigga.
You just want, another, make it, just showing out. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's just make an example. Like we've been the prime one to get used for making examples. We did it for the, head trauma, concussion stuff. You know what I'm saying with Bodygate. We're gonna make an example for COVID Gate. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's just show them.
Which is absolutely wild if you consider the Titans literally had a COVID outbreak so bad, and then went to a high school to do unauthorized.
Yeah, quarterback getting COVID.
We're not gonna talk about because that's just rumor who was at the facility, whatever. But
I believe it.
I do too. But I will. What I will talk about is, again, I try to use this pod to educate fans and take away the fandom. And we talked about this online or offline. Excuse me, a little bit online, but offline is that Sean Payton's hubris, his arrogance, the thing that at times we love about him as a coach on game day, sometimes, in the draft, whatever, that is his biggest strength, and it also may lead to his downfall.
Yep. I fully believe that. Bro. Because he don't give a fuck.
He doesn't care. He does not care.
And part of us love that type of shit. Like, of course you want, of course we appreciate somebody that don't give a fuck. Like this, I'm gonna do my own thing. But bro, be smart, man. Don't be fucking stupid, man. The league literally has dialed into our camera network in the headquarters. You know what I'm saying? They see everything that's going on. They're tracking everything. It's like, why stick your thumb out to the league? You know what I'm saying? Just be smart, man. They watch it. You know it. You have suffered the consequences. Sean Payton has cost himself $8 million suffering consequences. You know what I'm saying? Just bro, just be fucking smart, man. You could flex. When you retire, you could flex. You can write a book. You could, you know what I'm saying? You can do all type of shit and flex on them. But right now, you hurt your team when you do stupid shit. And that's just not. That goes on the football field too. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the playoffs, it's everybody look at Drew and the defense and stuff like that. That's fine, but who's the head coach? Bro, I'm just saying, you look at the playoffs, it's
message.
Team ain't really been primed and just boom. You know what I'm saying? It's man, when you look at the 2009 playoffs when they came out after the bye and went to play the Arizona Cardinals, You know, they allowed that one play, that first play, the big run by what my dude play for the Saints,
Tim Hightower.
Hightower. Then after that, like you just saw like how everybody was just like so focused and Reggie Bush just running like a fucking maniac, and defense was balling, and Drew was just pinpoint, and it's everybody. You know, Pierre Thomas, everybody. Like everybody was catching the ball. Everybody was making clutch. Jeremy Shockey, he limping on one leg, making catches and touchdowns and shit.
The offense was humming, bro.
Humming, bro. It's like everybody was on point, but it's like, man, the past couple of years when we get to the playoffs, it's just like, who is this team? Like,
yeah, man, it's a good
like y'all play your best ball in October. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, y'all supposed to play it like in January.
Yeah. Like,
you know?
I would say that the last great offensive performance that we saw with Saints in the playoffs was the second half of the Minnesota Miracle game.
That was it. That was it, bro.
That was it. Drew went dummy. He went into the matrix. Like that third and fourth quarter, like, and I know it. You know, he never get the credit for it because they didn't win. But some of his best, like the circumstances on the road, a Minnesota crowd going crazy. They had played some of the worst offensive football, making mistakes, just everything you could have asked for went wrong in that first half. They came out that second half. Whew, Drew was like the Terminator, nigga. That back, boom, just turn up the defense. Mike Thomas eviscerated, you know, Xavier Rhodes, Alvin making touchdown catches over Eric Kendricks, bruh. 4th and 10. Drew like, don't worry, I got it. Bam, Willie Snead, and like we haven't seen that offense in the playoffs since. Like they haven't been there. They just haven't been.
No. And you know, just outside of Drew Brees as declining or all that stuff, but just that attitude, man. It's just like you just hadn't seen it, man. You just hadn't seen it for whatever reason. Like I know some people think attitude and all that stuff doesn't really matter, but I think it does. I mean, and you could see it on tape. Like you could see when dudes like fucking Jared Cook. Oh man, it's just like dudes just not executing, man. It's like it's not executing, not playing at that level not playing that playoff level of football where they just going for broke and just playing smart, playing hard. So that falls on Sean Payton for me too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little, I'm looking at Sean Payton a little side-eye this offseason. Maybe it's just a little, remnants of just all the playoff losses or whatever. But I'm just like, man, you great. You good coach. You good coach. You all right. You all right. I need a little more.
Listen, man, I told you this. I said it offline. I know they just hired their black coach, even though I didn't know he was black. But Texas want Deshaun Watson, Sean Payton, like that's their best trade chip, bro.
So,
might throw the black.
Nowhere in the trade, bro. Like that has to be like for a coach trade. Goodell has to put his signature on it, and he ain't about to allow that shit, man. He ain't doing it. Maybe he'll do it for Jerry Jones. Maybe Jerry Jones make that call now. Oh, maybe Mike Florio been right all along, bro. Like Florio been beating that drum for years.
Could you imagine that long con working out for him finally, bro?
Man. Oh man.
What would we even get back from Dallas? Dak? Two first rounders? Like what? Like what would the?
It would definitely have to include some first rounders.
Because John Gruden went for 2 firsts, if I remember correctly. He was a 2 first head coach.
Man, can you believe that shit?
How wild is that, bro?
Tampa Bay is a trip because they got John Gruden on a trade, and he brought him to that one Super Bowl, which was really Tony Dungy's team.
Yes,
but Gruden did know the offensive playbook of the Raiders, so yeah, You can give it to him. And then they got Tom Brady just out of luck because the Saints didn't take him.
Because Drew said not on his watch, buddy. Not today, pal.
Oh, y'all trying to get Brady? Shit, I'll be there tomorrow. Fuck that.
Bro, it's hilarious when Drew posts some shit right now because everyone Drew just doing that shit on purpose now, bro. It's killing me. Every Instagram post is something else. And like fans like, oh, this nigga's not going yet. Like,
He's so oblivious, dog. Drew is so fucking oblivious.
Man, Drew in San Diego living his life, man. He about to be making $10 million a year working for NBC. Drew good.
Fucking Time House. I'm just so tired of it, bro. I never see Saints fans so done with him, man.
Done, bro.
Like, it's time, bro.
Done,
He was
bro.
my neighbor down here in Alabama, man. I was outside putting the trash out. He was like, hey, you watch that Super Bowl, bro? I'm like, yeah. Then we started talking about the Saints. He like, man, it's time for Drew to go. Like, man, they should have had that black boy out there playing quarterback.
Wait, is your neighbor white?
Nah, he a black dude.
Oh, okay. Well, you in Alabama, so
Yeah, he old black man, old black dude. You know what I'm saying? Cool as shit. But, you know, they should have had that black boy playing quarterback.
It's Saints Twitter is an interesting place to be right now. Like I can't handle it like in large. I gotta break it up because it's oh man, it's just a lot.
I'll drop my little comment and I don't even look at my mentions, bro.
So much negative energy, bro. Like I can't deal with it.
Hot.
They want change, bro.
The fuck what it was I tweeted. I was just like, damn, Sam Darnold, 23 years old. That's crazy. Like, fucking James is much better than Sam Darnold. I'm like, calm the fuck down, man. Like, I ain't even talking about the Saints. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy. Like, Sam Darnold been in the league like 10 years and he's 23. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
He's like only a couple of months older than like a lot of the rookies who are going to get drafted in April. Like
exactly. Like that's all I was saying. Like I'm not even talking about the Saints. I don't give a fuck about the Saints right now. I'm just making a comment. People are hyped up, man. Jeez.
So all this football talk we talked about, I gotta talk about it. And then we'll get out of here. I know we're going a little long, but we just having fun. Bro, can we talk about these impeachment trials?
Look, I can't lie. Like, I know some of my Saints Twitter, Democrats gonna flame me. Like, I wasn't big on Trump getting impeached. Like, I'm not saying I was for him not getting impeached. I just didn't give a fuck. I was just like, he's out of office. The job's done. I really don't give a fuck what y'all do right now. You know what I'm saying? I was like, did he incite it? I don't know. I was like, I don't know. Did he incite it? He was just talking shit out there, whatever. But they laid that fucking case out today. I was like, man, he incited that shit, bro. He knew what the fuck he was doing with that shit, man. He knew what he was doing, bro. Like, he knew what he was doing, man. He knew damn well he had them people primed up to go up in there and do some shit. And he was fine with whatever they do.
He basically did the presidential version of Charles Manson.
That's a good fucking point, bro.
Because that was the argument when Charles Manson was on trial.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, dog. That's a good point, bro.
Charles Manson didn't kill him.
Hey, Charles Manson didn't do it. He just, they're free people. They're free to do what they want.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just making parallels in terms of just everything. Like, that's like, they was gonna get Manson regardless, bro. Like he had no shot. he had no shot. But I'm just saying, just legally, they did the exact same thing. Like with Squeaky and all, Tex. Well, I know way too much about the fucking Manson murders. But in theory, he put the idea in their head, and they went out and they executed it. Literally executed it. No different than what Trump did. And and unfortunately, kind of unfortunately, like as the hearings are going on, like I'm at work, and so I'll try to listen to some of it, through like the CNN app and whatever. But I'm working, so it's kind of scattershot. So luckily, kind of there's Twitter. Like the video was it yesterday, like that 9-minute joint.
Yeah.
That they just edited everything and I was like, first of all, who edited this shit? Because they should get a raise. Because I know when they finished in Final Cut Pro, when they was done with that, they was like, got his ass. Like they had to feel proud. And just to think that this is the remix, nigga. Like this is his second impeachment trial. Just and seeing and hearing like the testimony and everything, like to think that we was as a people, as a country, like this was but this was the president for fucking 4 years of like the United States, and like man, like it's like you tweeted, like we have lived like these last couple of months, these 4 years, like we are living in literally unprecedented times. Like you could talk to like grandma, great grandma, if they're great grandparents, like they'd be like, honey, like I ain't ever lived through something like this. Like
that was crazy, man. That was crazy. I've never. I mean, it's never happened. Like no, it's just never happened. And just to see, because when it first happened, just with the videos I saw, I was like, well, is this kind of like LARPing? You know what I'm saying? Like these live action role playing fucking internet people. Like who the fuck are these people? But the case they laid out today, man, like they were trying to do some shit.
Bruh, like some of that unseen footage.
Man, like if they didn't evacuate the House or the Senate.
Oh, they was murking people. Like,
bro, they was murking people, dog. Like they was murking people.
It was going. Like if they would have got to Nancy Pelosi, fucking Mitt Romney, like
they would have roped Nancy up. Mike Pence, well, they was trying to lynch Mike Pence, boy. I'm like, damn, they turned on Mike Pence like that. Like they were trying to do him in, bro. They had a whole noose outside waiting for him,
bro. Like, ain't that some, bro? They went to the Capitol with a noose, got in, and had that bitch waiting for Mike Pence, the vice president.
Man,
come on, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Insane. I'm not, it's funny. One thing that our friendship has brought me is I'm a lot more into politics than I was we've been friends for like what, 8, I don't fucking know, 7, 8 years, way more into politics now than I was then. Obviously, part of that is maturing and whatever, but just, so I am not going to get into like the political, but just seeing it and just the impeachment, it's crazy, man. It's absolutely insane.
And look, I have no, like, there's something that I've always been against is this kind of religiosity for the government. Is like, this sanctified U.S. Capitol, you desecrated the U.S. Capitol. Like this religious talk when they talk about, like, I don't really get into that shit. Like,
right,
it's a fucking building, you know what I'm saying? But it's like when you dealing with, like, this is the federal government, man. It's like, what the like, these people were crazy, bro. Like, just to think that it was okay to do that shit.
Bro, they was
like
they,
that. Like, if they could do that, if you're willing to do that, you're willing to do anything.
And just to see the amount of people it was, like, that was, like, they was deep, bro. Like, it was a lot. It was just so many of them, and just seeing the video, just how many people it was. Like, shout out to, Eugene Goodman, that in a fucking, split second saved lives, saved senators, like his decision, and, just insane, man. Insane of just that whole. So let me just ask you this and we'll wrap it up. Like, what do you think the outcome is going to be?
I mean, they're not. I mean, the Senate is not going to. Republican Senate is not going to convict Trump. It's just not gonna happen. Democrats know that shit. Like, it ain't gonna happen unless just something crazy happens. It's not gonna happen. But at the very least, it's it's been a show. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think that the worry about Trump running for re-election in 4 years, nothing like that. It's done. Like, he's done. He banned from Twitter for life, bro. Like, he's done, man. Like, I don't
Jack
know.
got him out of here forever, bro.
The big question is that nobody's talking about is, like, 74 million people voted for him, man. Like, it's not like they just, you delete them overnight.
They're not going away.
They're not going away, and it's bigger than Trump at this point. Now it's like something going on, man. There's something serious going on. I don't know where. I have no idea how it plays out. But do you expect this shit to just go back to just being normal?
No,
that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
It's like I think I had texted you, like, imagine, like, there was more security and what have you for Joe Biden's, inauguration than it was for Obama's.
There's a wall around the U.S. Capitol now. Like, it used to be free for just people to just, no, there's a wall around it now, man. It's a wall around the White House. It's a different country now, bro.
Sorry to leave people like on such a depressing ass note. Like, all right, had all this football talk now.
They stopped listening, man. They stopped.
It's done. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We are at some point we'll have our J.C. Horn episode, breaking him down as a prospect. And then I'm going to reach out to our guy Hal to see if he can come on and talk to us. Mandalorian season 2, dive more into some things he couldn't talk about prior. Lucasfilm's cleaning out house today, bro. Got Cara Dune out here, bro. Yeah. But we got some content planning, content coming. We still have it coming. I know it's kind of dead with the Super Bowl. I mean, there's no football. I mean, there's gonna be no combine, so we can't even have not that we even like the combine and all like that, but like we can't even really have a combine episode where we talk about like prospects who did what we can't. Like, all we got is pro days and that's it. Like, but free agents, we should have a little free agency preview podcast, and when we can have a couple of free agency podcasts where we talk about free agents that are on the team, in terms of, do you bring them back? Do they leave? Whatever, and talk about maybe some free agents that the Saints should be in the market for. But just buckle up. I'm telling you, I feel in my bones. Like, this free agency period, like this offseason, it's about to be nuts. Like, it's gonna pop off. Like, I feel it. Just around the league. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Hope everyone continues to stay safe. Be safe, be good. This COVID thing, it's not going away. So continue to be vigilant. Fuck it, they got fucking new strands coming. Just fuck, bro. I'm just tired, Ryan. I'm just tired. I know, bro. I know. But anyway, we also appreciate the support as always. With that, we're out.
Peace.
Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matters more than ever. Remember to use code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Place your money line, prop, or parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Iowa only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.